You can be smart. You can have good ideas. And people will still not take you seriously, not because you're not capable, but because of how you come across. And this is something most people never notice. They think respect comes from intelligence, but in reality, it comes from perception. Think about someone you know. They're not the smartest person in the room, but when they speak, people listen. They don't get interrupted. They don't get ignored. Now think about someone else who actually has good ideas, but people talk over them or lose interest halfway through. The difference is not intelligence, it's presence. Most people lose respect in very small, almost invisible ways. It's not one big mistake. It's a pattern. The way you speak, the way you react, the way you carry yourself. All of these things send signals to other people, and people respond to those signals whether you realize it or not. One of the biggest mistakes is over-explaining. You start with a simple point, but then you keep adding more details, more justification, more clarification, and instead of sounding smarter, you start sounding unsure. Because confident people don't feel the need to prove every word. They say what they mean, and they stop. Another common situation. You're in a conversation, maybe at work, maybe with friends. You start speaking, but someone interrupts you. And you let it happen. You stop talking. You don't come back to your point. That moment seems small, but it teaches people something. It shows them that your voice is optional. Now imagine a different reaction. You pause, you let them finish, and then you say, "Let me finish what I was saying." Not aggressive, not emotional, just clear. That changes everything. Because now, you're showing that your words matter. Another reason people don't take you seriously is hesitation. When you speak, and you keep pausing in the wrong places, or you restart your sentences, or you change your point halfway through, it creates doubt. And people feel that instantly. Even if your idea is good, the delivery weakens it. Tone also plays a big role. If your voice goes up at the end of sentences, it can sound like a question, even when you're making a statement. And this is subtle, but it makes everything you say feel less certain. People don't always notice it consciously, but they react to it. There's also the habit of trying too hard to be liked. You soften your opinions. You agree quickly. You avoid saying anything that might create tension. And over time, you become easy to overlook, not because people dislike you, but because nothing you say feels strong enough to stand out. Let's talk about body language. Before you even speak, people are already reading you. If your posture is closed, if you avoid eye contact, if your movements feel tense or unsure, it sends a signal. And most of the time, that signal is lack of confidence. Now compare that to someone who is calm and grounded. They don't rush. They don't fill every silence. They don't react to everything immediately. They speak, and then they pause. That pause is powerful, because it shows control, and control creates presence. Another big mistake is not standing by what you say. You share an opinion, and the moment someone disagrees, you pull back, you soften it, you change it. And again, people notice. They start to feel like your words don't carry weight. Over time, all of these small behaviors add up, and they shape how people see you, not your intelligence, not your potential, but your presence. Here's the truth. Being taken seriously is not about being louder. It's about being clear. It's about saying what you mean and allowing it to stand, without over-explaining, without rushing, without constantly adjusting yourself. You don't need to become aggressive. You don't need to dominate every conversation. You just need to act like your voice matters. Because when you start doing that, people will start doing the same.